Hello folks, yeehaw! We got ourselves another victory. Woohoo! Go Riders go! And who would have thunk it? Just a few weeks ago we were trending in the opposite direction and looking like we're gonna struggle to even make the playoffs. But with all the results this weekend, lo and behold, we're in second place. And like I said, win you're in. And now with the loss by BC and Winnipeg beating Edmonton, we're in second place. Yeehaw! And we control our own destiny. We could have a playoff spot in Mosaic Stadium, a home game, and that'd be juicy. But it has to be done, man. Need these wins. Big game against the Elks. Win that one, we're in. I think. I guess it'll all depend on different scenarios, but like I said, Riders control their destiny, and they can have a home game at Mosaic, playoff game. Wouldn't that be juicy? Well, about the game now. I suppose the biggest discussion on everywhere across the internet is Williams' stupid hit on Pimpleton. Man, oh man. Yeah, it's totally unnecessary. You know, I go along with Sanchez though. You know, like Pimpleton comes forward, puts his helmet right into Dante Williams' chest. Dante Williams lifts him up by the hips, head goes down. You got nowhere but to slam him into the ground. The big point there is he didn't need to slam him down. You had him. He'd have fell on his own head by himself once you lifted his hips. So it looks a lot worse than it was. But I still don't condone it. It's a stupid, stupid hit. And what's even stupider is Ottawa running a play. It's the same situation as Winnipeg. When we played Winnipeg, we had them beat and we play a play. Exact same thing, and then Big Hill goes and slams Patterson into the ground. Identical. It's a team's own fault for bloody well playing a play. In fact, after, didn't even play another one after that one. They had 6 seconds left. Nah, completely ridiculous. You know the players are uptight already, and was a hell of a battle. To tell you the truth, the biggest hitting, hardest hitting game I've seen this season for the Riders. But anyway, you know, the game's over. And why bother playing a play? You know, Pimpleton just off the injury list. I'm sure Williams will get a fine, maybe suspension, but it was totally uncalled for. Both things. He didn't need to do it, and they didn't need to run a play. No, there's a few. That one hit on Baines and the Hunter. When Hunter hit Baines, you know, the trouble with that one is that's a legal hit, unless they want to call it hit on I don't know what they can call a penalty on an unprotected player or something, receiver. That can be called, but they said that he was going after an interception. No way. He was going to cut him down, period. And it wasn't the only time they did it. They cut down lots of guys, all low hits. Baines, man, replayed that, and holy God, his knee went in the opposite direction it's supposed to be bent. I can't see him making a recovery. I feel sorry for the kid. He was having a good game, and now I wouldn't doubt if he's out for the season. I'd be surprised if he's not, that's for sure. Yeah, like, don't know what you can do about those type of hits. Happens lots. He just timed it. Didn't have to go that low. There's a discussion both ways, I guess. You know, it's football. But that's enough talking about those. There's been a lot of talk on the internet. I just hate all the Roughriders are the dirtiest team in the league. My God, not even close. Call them whatever you do. I'm not going to argue against either way. You know, you cheer for your team, you cheer for your team. But as far as the game, and I guess the only disappointing thing is we turned the ball over 3 times, which is not disappointing, great for the defense, but we never made them pay after. Uh-oh, I gotta get Ryder over here. He's way over there. Ryder! Ryder! Hang on, I'll be back. Gotta find his dog. Sorry about that. Ryder went chasing after some animal or something. I don't know what he's doing. And he's back here now. Silly dog. Heard him barking like a banshee. Okay, where was I? Oh, the 3 interceptions I think I was talking about. You know, Milligan got another one. Sales and Eclair got one. You know, that was a sneaky one by Eclair. He hid behind there and Mosaic tossed it to him. But defense played a lot better. Had a good plan against Ottawa. Like I said earlier, my pregame, Mosaic he's lost his scrambling ability, and they blitzed him a lot, come at him heavy, and got him down a few times. Should have had him a few more, but they got him down a few times, and then, like I said, make him toss, and he did, and tossed up a few nice juicy ones for the Riders defense. But we just couldn't make them into touchdowns. A lot of red zone, are close to the red zone and not getting the ball in the end zone. And that won't do if it gets to the playoff type situations. We got to make them pay when they turn the ball over, not just field goals. End up losing a lot of those games in the end. In actuality, it just about happened, you know, like beginning of the 4th quarter, like Ottawa was right down there, and they're only 9 points down, and Mosaic does get away from our rush and flips one out to one of their rookie Canadian receivers. Didn't get much playing time. Bruggeling, man, it was right in his mitts, right at his chest actually, and dropped it. You know, that would have put him only 2 points down, and that would have been that's a big turning point of the game as far as I'm concerned. Momentum would have shifted, and all of a sudden just tighten up because the game's so close again because we can't get the ball in the end zone. But as it turned out later in the 4th quarter, with Armstead out, Houghton come on and had a nice 4th quarter. You know, the line started opening up some holes. Oh man, just swallowed a bug. Excuse me, just swallowed a bloody bug. But yeah, Houghton come on, had one good touchdown run there. He got some nice feet for a big guy, and he runs downhill. He was pretty impressive, you know, for getting a lot of playing time. He did pretty damn good, especially in that fourth quarter. And plus Busby, he had to come in when Baines went down. Well, for as you, we had to put in that Hunchuk, and he didn't really impress me. He had a couple targets and neither one were caught. I can't blame him. He barely into camp, and they're gonna have to bring in. I wonder if they'll bring in Stearns or maybe that Robustelli. Like that, what I read about that Robustelli, he's supposed to have really good wheels. So I've been wanting to see him for a while. I had mentioned that about Baines is struggling, not getting many targets. I was thinking, you know, like because he was out of the wide receiver, and I don't know, he wasn't getting that many targets and catches, and dropped an important one there. I was calling for him, but I didn't want him to get injured. Jesus, we lost a lot of guys, and a lot of guys are hurting after this game. I'm sure. Like Armstead out now, you know, like played one game, cost us a few bucks for one game. I doubt if he'd back. I saw the play where he sort of hurt him, and then he couldn't even get up. He asked for somebody to pull him up. He tried to continue, but he was something going wrong with his shoulder or arm there. But a lot of guys were limping. Like Houghton, he was, the running back was limping. I can't remember if it was Reed or Tate. He was limping. Oh, so was Baldonado. Yeah, he played pretty damn good, and after every play he got up and he was limping along too. We took a lot of lumps in that game. Like I said, it was a hard-hitting game, big time hard-hitting game. What other thing happened? Oh, kudos to Alfred. He finally run one out of the end zone and made about a 70-yard return out of it. You know, I was getting tired of him. Lots of times there's tons of space to go, and he takes a knee. And if you got room to get at least to the 20, get going. You never know, you might bust one just like that. What else? Oh, I was complaining during the game with like Harris. Like, he's got a really good arm. He gets rid of the ball quick. He's got a lot of attributes, but his biggest downfall to me is he just got no pocket presence. You know, like, it's good for the old lineman. They know where he's gonna be, but you know, like, he still stands there like a poker. And one sack, the guy just reached over and grabs him by the ankle. Like, he just has to shuffle off a couple feet and he's clear, you know. Pulled him down with one ankle. Yeah, that's my biggest complaint with Harris. He just, his pocket presence. Like, that's how Bo was playing so well. You know, Bo, you'll never see him run the ball, ever. Very, very seldom. And but he still can move around and get out of trouble. A lot of times, you know, he's still getting sacked. Like Bo, he played a terrible first half with Hamilton there. Holy Christ. What a terrible. I figured, oh, Bo's back to his terrible playing. But the second half came out on fire. I think he went about 18 for 18. And, well, his first completion that got him going was a penalty. And a long penalty. And that was his first yardage because of a penalty. But after that, he went 18 for 18. And then at the end, I'm going, oh no. I says, look at this. I had switched it to Hamilton to win, and they were right down in the end zone there for the overtime, and man, command center pipes in and said, no, pass interference. When I saw the play, I'm going, bullshit. Wasn't passing. The guy had looked back and everything, and But once I looked at it again after, he had his hand right on his collar and gripping it right there. You could see he's gripping it. And I've said that over and over. You know, like they made that judgment. If you grab a sweater, they're one or the ref or the command center is going to call it. And whether he stopped him from jumping up, I don't know. But if you can't tell, you know, he didn't jump very far. And the guy's a big dude. He would have had the ball. So it worked out for the rider stuff. But like I said, I was thinking BC was going to win. But command center won that one for him, changing the call. And I think it was in the end probably the right call. The one I don't believe was the right call was a fumble on Hamilton. I mean, not Hamilton, on Ottawa. You know, like, it was a fumble. I don't care what anybody says. You know, like, so what if you have to slow it down? Doesn't matter if you slow it down. I saw it at full time, and I said right away, that's a fumble. He made a football move, and that's what what defines a catch. Is if you make a catch and you make a football move, it's a catch. And he did. He turned right around, tucked the ball. As soon as he tucked it, we're gonna make him go forward. He got banged. And as far as I'm concerned, we got robbed. You know, it was a football move, so we should have got that ball. Didn't end up costing us in the end, but as far as I'm concerned, that was a fumble and a run for a touchdown. Well, about the other games, I guess this week in the CFL, talked about Bo and his miraculous comeback and the change of fortune in the second half, where he lit her up big time. He brought that team right back. I thought BC was going to thump, and they would have if Bo would have kept playing the way he's playing. He was playing hopeless. He was playing hopeless, but he sure come on in the second half. Well, Winnipeg, man, oh man, they're looking dangerous. That's the biggest beat down of a team I've seen this year against the Elks there. Except for maybe Toronto against BC. Toronto just ultimately smashed BC that game. They played them in BC. That's the way BC's been this year. Either looking good or just terrible. They're beatable. Well, Winnipeg, man, Lawler, he gets the catch of the day or the weekend. He made a couple actually fantastic catches. He's going to be dangerous. They got a lot of good talent with that Dembski, and I think Schoen's out for the season, but then that Wilson, he's no slouch either. And then they got, of course, Oliveira. You know, he's been playing really good too, and they're going to have a good chance at another cup, that's for sure. Especially if they play that way. Collaros was damn good. The only way we beat him that time is because we stopped Oliveira, and then Collaros, we forced a few out of them. But if you don't get to Collaros, make him toss up those interceptions. That's how come they were losing the first of the year. He was throwing more intros than TDs. Like I said, if they play like they did that game against the Elks, man, they're going to be hard to stop. And then the Toronto-Montreal game, Fajardo, he's playing similar to what he played in Sask. You know, throwing balls up and hoping the guy catches it, basically. And Kelly, he made some really fantastic long bomb plays. He's got a good arm for that long bomb. His biggest downfall is probably gambling too much, and when they did lose, throwing balls he shouldn't throw. If he can get rid of that tendency. He kept a couple plays alive though, still standing up. The one that he handed it off to the guy in front of him was unreal. And he did another one like that where he tossed it. He's almost down and he continues to play. I don't know, Montreal's beatable too. Toronto keeps coming on, they'll have a good chance. It's like I said, every team this year has they can come up and beat you quick enough. And that's who we gotta play, as a team just like that. The Elks next. You know, they got nothing to lose, and that's the most dangerous team to play. You know, play wide open. And Elks look good at times, and even though they're similar to us, lost a few games out of stupidity, and they turned it around when they got rid of Jones. I don't think really that was the cause, Jones. I think it's just their turn of fortune went their way. But anyway, that's about it for this video. I'd like to just give shout outs to, you know, the guys that stepped up for this game, like Busby, Houghton stepped up, filling in for guys. Who else? Nearback helped, but you got that next man up on mentality, and they came up big time for us. You know, especially old Busby there, 7 for 7. You know, you can't get any better than that for a guy stepping up. And he's a big dude, and when he catches the ball, he's a hard guy to take down. In fact, they almost hurt him once too, cutting him down. That's the way Ottawa was playing, just cutting him down. Ryder, come on! Anyway, oh, there you are. So I'm right here, Dale. Anyway, if I think of anything more, I'll put her on here. It's a long enough video. Oh yeah, I forgot on my shout outs to Lawther. I know, man. I was on this case, and I'm mainly on O'Day's case for not having anybody in camp to put pressure on Lawther, because we got no backup basically. And I never lost faith in him, but he did cost us one game, but he's come back and shone since then. The only field goal he missed was that long 60-yarder in the Labor Day, but that can be expected. He comes up back, and I hate that we have to just kick field goals, but if we have to kick them, you gotta make them. Anyway, shout outs to him. I just hope we can recover from all those injuries we got. Like, I'm not sure about Shake and Bake. He took a wicked one in the ribs. You know, is Armstead gonna be able to play? You know, Baines, I think he's done. So like I said, more next man up. I just wish we'd get an offensive lineman back, Canadian. That's needed big time. That's, if there's a thing that we need really bad, is offensive lineman to come back. Even Hardrick, you know, it'd be a blessing if we can get some of those guys back. But if we can't, another guy's De Beer on the defensive line. I don't know when they're coming back, but so far our next man up is okay. I'd say the only place we're the weakest is Canadian receivers. We'll see how that new guy did, but he didn't do very good this first look anyway. I'd like to thank everybody that watches my videos and listen to this, me yap about the CFL and especially the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Really appreciate all the comments. Just keep them coming. I really enjoy reading the comments, and thanks for subscribing. Hitting that like button really helps me out. Anyway, till next time, go Riders go, and bring on those Elks.